Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Carolina Panthers. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, now they'll try the end around. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Brian Burns in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is taken at the 23. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now a give right side. It's Burns. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one will swing. Followed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 35 on 2nd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
I'm going to come back to you.
From the gun, here's Newton. On the crossing route, complete. That's Burns. A really good pickup of 28 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Newton now to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 30.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To the air again, Newton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. A.J. Boye with a pick. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. But no doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Johnson, oh, it's poked free. Football's out. And the Panthers have recovered. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on.
With desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On 2nd and 12, Newton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Check 55 to Mike.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
On second down, here's Petty. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, Jackson. And he finds Penny. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Throwing is Jackson. And he's going to go down again. Brian Burns picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Jackson. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. That was Dante Jackson, the one who got a hand in to knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
It's It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads. They don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Ready? Check 55, Mike. Check.
Cam's going to run the option right. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Here we go, D.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Coming to you. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
On 3rd down, Newton. That's complete to McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 39. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to...
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Brian Burns in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Stepping up, he's got Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go.
Newton to throw. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Jackson now. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
At the 46-yard line.
Eight. Cross the pass. Hustle.
On 1st down, it's Newton. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Newton. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Throwing is Newton. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Ferguson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Third and long, it's Newton. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for Carolina. 71 yards. So forget about any talk of possible safeties. Here's 1st and 10 clear on the other side of the field. A shotgun snap for Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Another try after the first down sack. Newton, he'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Hey, let's get this. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, I'm coming after you.
Out of the gun, Newton. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Duke Riley in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson steps away to it, and he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jeffrey Simmons. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line.
Set. Check 8. Check 3. Check 3.
On first down, Burns.
I got you, boy.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or save.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Burns. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina! A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Panthers offense cashes in with 6. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Penny. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw is Jackson, being chased out left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Number 53, 553.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. Dancing away at the 30. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Gun. Come on, dude. Tighten up, tighten up.
Now Cam, option left. He may try and run for this. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Cam's going to run the option right on first down. Burns. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Now, you talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out, coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On the ground, this is Johnson. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
That didn't appear to be. Run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
56.
They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
How about that, partner? That's a gutsy run, a physical run, an explosive run, and he's inside the 10-yard line now. I don't know if you hand it to him again on this play, but make the defense think that you will, and maybe you have some options off of it.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Rashad Penny. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win one before.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Burns. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. And that has to drive a coach crazy.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 5.
He can run for it, and he will. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Spinning away. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Cam, option left. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. Cam's going to run the option right on 3rd down. Burns. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Makes the score Panthers 52, Ravens 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Brings up fourth down.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Let's go. Check it back. Check it back.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll run for it with Penny. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation.
Okay, break. Mike 55, Mike 55. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Today's final score, Panthers.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Carolina, the win moves them